Alignment, Eric Tonningsen.
It was June 2011, and her name was Rose. At 87, she was physically frail with bony knuckles, yet delicate features. Rose shuffled into my life unassumingly, navigating the narrow aisle with a firm grip on her cane. As she approached my seat, she insisted, "Help me, please." So I did. At a snail's pace, we walked together towards the Drains dining car, a train hurtling at 80 miles an hour while edging an endless expanse of cornfields. Rose, smiling proudly as she clenched my arm, was determined to not miss dinner. Years had taken their toll on Rose's body, her arthritis evident. But her mind was as sharp as a figure skater's blade, a mind that in less than 24 hours taught me a precious lesson. Align your life with what really matters. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Align your life with what really matters. We had boarded Amtrak's Southwest Chief in Albuquerque, Rose destined for South Bend, Indiana, and I for Stamford, Connecticut. Before we were even seated, Rose asked me, "What's good?" She quickly added, "I need a martini." Clearly, I had no idea what kind of ride I was in for. The martini didn't slow her down, and no sooner had dinner been served than the Inquisition began. You know, the grandmotherly, no-holds-barred type of questioning. I soon realized that Rose was testing me. She was trying to determine who I was at my core. "Why did you help me?" Because it was the right thing to do. "What's your key value?" Compassionate action. "How aligned is your life?" The questions were relentless and persistent through dessert. Tiring, I wondered if this brittle, ever-ready Energizer bunny was going to slow down. And she finally did. Then, dead silence. Rose just squinted through her bifolds. "Can I share something with you, young man?" She knew my name, but preferred young man. "Of course you can." This unwittingly gave Rose permission to delve deeply into her wisdom-rich mind. "If you and I are misaligned in life with what really matters, we're going to find ourselves off track." I nodded in agreement. "Yet to get back on track, you only need to consider where your thoughts will be when you take your last breath on this earth." By now it was dark outside, and I had become bewitched by a sagging sage in a clickety-clack that rhythmic place where iron wheels meet rails. Have you ever been stopped in your tracks by a stranger who affected you profoundly? Astonished at the simplicity of her wisdom, I merely said, "I've got some alignment work to do." Whatever you imagine yourself musing upon when you take your last breath will almost always be representative of what truly matters. You're kind to listen. Let's call it a night. We retraced the narrow aisles to our respective sleeping berths. The next day, I met Rose for lunch, and not once did she speak of the previous night's lesson. Instead, she nonchalantly talked about what really mattered. Her grandchildren, her faith, her personal values, but not a word about being aligned and its importance. That evening, the conductor announced, "Station stop, South Bend." I was at Rose's side as she prepared to detrain. She cocked her head and whispered, "It's not about material success. It's about meaning and significance." I thanked her. And then I watched as she shuffled out of my life. For the next couple of days, I couldn't get Rose's words out of my head. It became so clear to me that you can focus on what has meaning. Aligning with what matters, matters. And it's personally rewarding when you, one, give generously of your time and energy. Giving gets returned. 2, learn to listen, not just hear. 3, heed your heart. It yearns for you to be aligned.